It's you can say that it's the first day of the harvesting of the crop in different part of region. So we called this day as a Gudi Padwa in Maharashtra, Ugadi in Karnataka, Bihu in Assam, and Navre in Kashmir, and Pongal in Tamil Nadu. So there are, because such a diverse country we have, so we have different festivals, language, climate also. So last time that I spoke on temperate climate. So now today's topic is on a tropical climate, which is I think the 90% of the geographical land of India is a tropical purely, except the Himalayan region. So my name is Rajender. I'm working for a Canadian greenhouse company called Cravo. I'm looking after the Asian market. So let's see the map of India that except this Himalayan region, if you see my cursor, the whole of this area is a tropical region. So this region, you have a very high temperature during summer, and you have a rain also, very some high in some region, and some parts they are remain dry, just like Rajasthan, Gujarat, and some part of Maharashtra. This is the region. But if you see this part here, we have a monsoon in Assam also, and this region on the eastern and western coast we have a very high rainfall. So we have a uh, you can say that we have a monsoon period when we have a very high rainfall, and during the rest period we have a dry season. So sunshine is very good here. We have a very high level of sunlight, and uh, so most of cultivation in India in this part is open field cultivation, um, because we are doing this farming for centuries, and our growers, they are very experienced in growing open field. Most of crops, they are grown either in the winter season or during summer in the open field. So you can grow on a large area, uh, and and when the conditions are good, you can manage the crops very easily. And this type of open farming is very low capital in investment. Just you need a seed and fertilizer and FYM and your labor, family labor, mostly that, because uh, 90% of land holding in India is small, marginal, so they depend upon the family labor. So open field is a low cost cultivation actually. So Uh, during normal season, when you have a outside good condition, so you have a low insect disease pressure, but otherwise it's very high. Uh, so there are a lot of challenges in the open field, and especially during the now since the last 2 decades, due to the climate change, a lot of unseasonal rain, abyss fall, or hailstorm or wind that is occurring. So uh, because most of farmer in the open field, they grow the crop in a season at the same time. So when they go to the market, so they get a very low price. And frost, hail, rain, and wind, it caused a lot of damage, as you can see the picture here also. And foliar disease, insect pest disease also very high when during the summer when your crop is stressed due to the high heat. And it's sometimes also difficult to grow organically because of change in weather conditions. So water consumption is also very high during summer because most of people still use the flood irrigation here in India. So climate change, as I told you, is a very serious challenge. So now that if you want to grow the crop and successfully, so you need to put up a cover over that. So my topic will be about the this cover cropping, or you can say the protected cultivation, or greenhouse cultivation, or polyhouse cultivation, because a lot of terms now popularly used. So beside that, there are other challenges also that our growers face in India. That electricity is that either is not available in most of rural area, or it's very expensive in some part. Soil conditions in some part like Rajasthan or some part of Haryana is not good, because it's either they have a high alkalinity, or maybe in some region there is acidity. So water availability is also a big challenge, because we do not have a good assured irrigation facility everywhere in all over India. And because most of grower they are experienced in the seasonal farming, so they may have a challenge while adopting the high tech type of farming. So they did some trainings for such type of technology adoption. Finance is also limited, although that lot of efforts has been given by the different governments during last couple of years, by giving this farmer credit schemes, credit card schemes. But still, that is not sufficient. And small size of land holding, that most of our growers, that 80-90%, they are small and marginal. And small land holding is actually you can say that it is for subsistence farming for the own family consumption, but not for the commercial purpose. That's the limitation with the farming in India. So to solve all these challenges, that whether it's a climate or other, then farmers they find difficult that what type of a protected cultivation system he has to adopt, whether it's a polyhouse or net house or greenhouse or fan pad, or so many that structures they are available in this country. So my topic will be specific on this, that what type of structure you should adopt for your area. So, so net house is a most you can say that most prevalent in the most of the tropical parts, especially during summer season. Uh, and normally that we do have two type of net house. Either is with the insect net, which we normally use the 40 or 50 mesh insect net, just like you can see this picture here, or we have a shading net. Because in the second net, normally for protecting against the insects, but shading net to create a shade because of high heat or sunlight during summer season. So you might have seen that most of nursery area that in your vicinity, they normally have these shade net houses. But otherwise, for in the large scale farming, people use the insect net house. So now that cable post design is becoming very popular. Like here, you can see it's a wire and this post. So it is the very reasonable price structure, and you can cover the wider area. So mostly that farmer in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra, a lot of farmers are adopting this type of technology. And so there are advantages that many advantages of this net house. And there are some disadvantages also, that advantage that it's a low cost. You can cover a large area. You can install very easily. Price of such net houses varies from 300 to 600 rupee per square meter. And Insect pressure is very less or negligible inside these structures. You can grow wide variety of crops, like mostly the people they grow this cucumber and capsicum, and people are also growing tomato. So you can extend the harvest season as compared to open field, and you can prevent from disease also, except during rainy or winter season, because during rainy season you can't prevent the rain with these type structures. So there's a lot of fungal issues. And during winter season, because you have a low light during winter, and day is also very shorter, so it prevents the sunlight also. So that cause the decrease in the yield and quality also. So it's also that people that who are looking for organic cultivation, so it's sometimes a challenge to grow organically. And such structure, although that they are good, but due to the wind speed, high wind speed that occurs either in the month of April, May, during this time actually. Now because before the monsoon, the lot of high wind speeds area occurs in northern part of India. Sometimes structure also get damaged, but otherwise these structures are very good for polyhouse. Is that actually, as you can see here in the picture also, that this is a technology suitable for extended winter production or at a higher elevation actually, where, or you can say the mild climate, like the climate that you have in Bangalore, Mysore area, or in Pune region, and not for a very hot climate. This because it becomes very hot and humid, and you can't grow inside the crops inside the structure. But otherwise, it's a widely prevalent technology in most of the subtropical region. So you can extend your winter production. Means that you can grow very well from September onward till you can say the April, May. Then then the weather becomes very hot and humid. So then it causes the problem. So you can protect the crops against your rain and cold, and also you can cover a large area, but still the price is high. You can say that it's a medium cost structure. Price varies from 1,000 to 5,000 rupee per square meter, depending that how much area that you are building. So the challenge that with this polyhouse, that you are not exposing your crop to the direct sunlight, because you have a plastic stationary cover over your crops, and then it caused a lower transpiration rate, especially during the rainy season or during winter also, because you are blocking the sunlight, so that prevent your transpiration rate. And crops, they are more vegetative than you can say the flowering and fruiting. That fruiting are less and more vegetation in their in crops. So disease pressure is also high during the summer and rainy season. So that's why that these structure are not good for summer, extreme summer. I mean to say that the period between May, June, July, August, 4 months, they are not suitable, these structure. So most of the structure, if you are not a properly installed or properly designed, so you may lose your plastic during these high wind periods. Fan fan is the technology for basically for propagation purpose, that has been now most of hydroponics grow in the urban or peri-urban areas. They are adopting it, this type of, because they are growing the high value crops. So that's why that it becomes suitable for them. So you can protect your crops against the cold and high heat. And because you are installing the evaporative cooling system here, So you can grow these leafy herbs or even the berries, strawberry like crop year round, almost year round. Price of this structure is high. It is something like 2,500 to 10,000 rupees per square meter. Again, depending on how much area you are building and what type of material you are using. So, so here also that crops, they are not exposed to the direct natural sunlight because you have a stationary cover over that. So that may again, yeah, slow down your transpiration during certain period. And it this type of structure, they are not good for a very high humid area, just like Konkan region, or you can say uh, the Assam area, or maybe the Eastern Ghat also, where the rainfall is extended for a longer period. So there, because humidity and temperature that cause problem in the structure, so you can't get it of excess humidity because it's a fully closed structure. So then it becomes difficult to grow the crop. So, consumption of water and electricity is very high, especially for 8, 9 months. If you are except the winter, that if you are using these fan bed structures, so power and water consumption is very high. So that you have to consider while selecting such models. And that the one that if you are building a large scale project, then problem with this structure, you can't build them wider than 35 meter because the space between the cooling pad and exhaust fan should not be more than that, because otherwise you will not get the uniform climate inside the structure. So then it's a new technology, semi-closed greenhouse, although that it has been tried tested in the European climate, in the southern Europe. And now some projects, they are coming up in the Middle East or Singapore region where you have a high humidity. So here in this structure, that if you see this, this is a perforated container below these um, growing area. So, and you pass this during hot summer, you pass the cool air through this area container. So then the cool air, it goes becomes hot. Then you again that you recirculate this air and mix up the cold air with the greenhouse air. So then it create a cool environment inside. So this technology still not I have not heard anything of this type of structure here in India, but in Middle East or in Singapore, now these structure are coming up. But cost, I have no idea still, but I think it's costlier. So what you have understood that key learning about the production, that stationary police house or shade house or net house, they are have advantage and disadvantage. And it's a very difficult to prevent all the problems, whether some disadvantages are there in every type of structure. So and they increase the operating cost also, that if you are building up a large area, and because you can't put up the automation system in this structure, so then increase the that cost if you're building a large commercial projects. So sometimes it's very difficult to manage also, and the risk is very high because structures are lost by the high wind, or sometimes the disease called the can kill your crop, and complications also there, that because we have a different season. So uh, just like net house, they work very well during summer, but not good for rainy and winter. Poly house work very well during extended winter, but not for the year round. So, and fan pad structure, it is operating cost very high because of high electricity and water consumption. So, to find out the best solution, you need to adopt a different type of technology. So, what we need to understand that when we decide that what type of what the technology should provide to you, that you should have a cool summer temperature less than 35 degrees Celsius. I am not talking about the air temperature, but I am talking about the leaf temperature, which is very important for the photosynthesis. Heat up the winter environment, that the winter should not be less than winter temperature inside should not be less than 15 degrees. So otherwise your uh, growth will be hampered. Maintain the humidity between 50 to 80%, depending on the crops and season. Protect your crops against adverse conditions like frost, wind, dust, erratic rain, and hailstorm. Protect against the insect and pest disease. It should be simple, not very complex to operate and manage. And water and power consumption should be less. Otherwise, you may face problem in future. And systems should be reliable. That is, the structure should not be blown away and due to the wind or hailstorm. So let's this a small video that I will show you that how this technology that I will be talking that I'm working for, how it works.
Today, more people around the world than ever before are integrating fruits and vegetables into their diets. And as a result, retailers want to have stock available all year round. But there are several big challenges that growers like you are facing to meet this increasing demand. Extreme and inconsistent weather patterns result in inconsistent supply. Input costs are frequently rising faster than selling prices. And insects cause massive damage to crops at the same time as consumers demand that their food is produced with minimal chemicals. So for you, the challenge is how to have predictable and consistent supply when the weather is inconsistent. For over 35 years, we've been working on the solution. Introducing the retractable roof production system, which creates a more consistent growing environment for farmers in warm and hot climates. When the weather is ideal, the roof will automatically retract, allowing the natural outdoors to come inside. When cold, rain, or hail comes, the roof will automatically close to protect the plants. And when there is high summer heat, the roof closes 80% to protect the plants from direct sun, while also allowing for ventilation and cooling. The system is very efficient, as it requires only 1 to 2 kilowatt hours of electricity per day, per hectare, and requires minimal water for cooling when temperatures exceed 35 degrees Celsius. Cravo houses have proven to resist damage from hail and major storms, such as hurricanes and cyclones. By working with Cravo, you can create optimum growing conditions year-round to produce crops with larger size, with higher yields, longer shelf life, extend your harvest season, or target a completely different harvest season. Together as partners, we will create an innovative production system to meet your market opportunities and climate challenges, while targeting a 3 to 5 year return on investment. Join us as we continue to build production systems of the future that combine nature and protection to create superior growing environments. Today,
So uh, this is a nature protection and climate optimization that we try to design a system for your crop and climate as per your climate. So you will not find the same structure everywhere. We have 75 different solutions for your crop and climate. So I will talk about in detail here. So as I explained here that we have a tropical climate like Rajasthan and Gujarat, Maharashtra, where it's a tropical dry actually. Rainfall is less in some this region, the red region. And this region you can see is a tropical uh, that humid type that here you have a rainfall during heavy rainfall during monsoon, or you can say the retrieving monsoon also that in the South India. And this region that the yellow type that you can see the here we have a hot and dry weather. It means that you have a dry summer and you have a rainfall during the monsoon. So you can classify these areas. So I will skip here that for this region, you see that net house they will do very well. And but as I told you, that problem with the net house that rainy and winter they cause a problem. So retractable roof is a over that over the net house you have a roof, so that when you have a rain, you can cover the roof. When you have a dry season, you can retract the roof. So then this area that we have where we have a very heavy rainfall, extended monsoon season that like in Mumbai, Pune, Konkan region, you have a monsoon rainfall from May, June till October, November. So 4 5 months of rain. So there you need to have a structure with the complete rain protection, and also that how to manage the humidity in that region. So we have a all the peak roof model with the gutter that uh, they are suitable for this region. And during the rainy season, whenever the rain stops, you could open the roof, so you will have more ventilation area. So you can reduce your fungal issues with the retractable roof. And then hot and dry region that like this again that we need a structure which work as a net house during summer or work as a poly house during rainy season. So all those combination that we can provide. So advantage that this type of technology is suitable for large scale cultivation, and especially that if you are targeting a higher price window, just like that prices in India when are high, mostly the prices are high during summer or rainy season, especially the rainy season from June onward till October, November, prices are very high. So you can very easily target your production harvest season during in this type of system, which otherwise not possible in poly house or net house. And you have a very good fruit size, shelf life, you can have a better. And also that if you can ship to longer distance, because when you are planning a bigger project, so you can your target is either the export market or the domestic market in the faraway place. So you can very easily ship to a longer distance. So these structures are designed up to 200 kilometer per hour speed. So it's not possible to lose the structure. So even the crops also. So these are very easy to operate, and because most of structures they are automatic with the weather. You have a weather station, so you are having all the parameters of outside that you are measuring. On that base, you decide the parameters for your crops inside. So you can grow wide type of crop. As you can see in the same structure, you are growing tomato, cucumber, capsicum, chilies. And it's very important now because most people are looking for a organic type produce. So you are using 60 to 90% less fungicide as compared to polyhouse or net house, and 60% less insecticide as compared to this structure. So you can follow the organic protocols also. And Production and labor cost, operating cost is very less actually, uh, due to because you need a less labor inside the structure. Normally, what happen that during summertime, if you are it's very difficult for the your worker to work inside the net house or poly house. Either you are they work in the morning or evening hours, and daytime is not possible. But in this type system, whether it's a temperature 45 outside, you can work very well. It provides a shade just like a shade of any tree. So you can work very well in this system. And power and water consumption is 10 to 20 times less than the fan pad system. Those people who are having the fan pad, they know that what is the electricity and water consumption cost. So they know very well. So we have, as I told you, that we have 75 different solutions. So basically we have 4 models, but we can create a 75 different solution uh, with these 4 models. So because we are using 11 different covering, and we can create 3 different layer, one top layer, then lower layer, the different screen, then uh, uh, below that you can put up a another screen that to optimize your climate. So we have a flat roof, as I told you, that it is suitable for a dry climate like Rajasthan, Gujarat, for large field cover. X-frame is good for a humid climate for large field or orchard cover. Rafter house for it has a wider span actually, so it is for small, special purpose like nursery. It is used. A-frame is for extreme climate condition like in the eastern coast, or you can say the high Himalaya, where you have a either very that high wind speed or snow load, then you can use the A-frame. So price of this structure, they vary from 5,000 to 15,000 per square meter, depending upon which model or which how much area that you are building. So flat roof, as I told you, is very good for dry tropical climate like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, or for the summer production. This is a very old structure designed in 1981, and it's the lowest retractable roof structure. You can cover any area that is maybe 15 or 100 hectare. You can see here also. It's a field, so you are playing the tractor inside. And we have a 2 type of covering. One is uncoated and other is coated. Uncoated, that you allow the rainwater to come inside when roof is closed. Uncoated, that you allow the rainwater to come inside in a particular pattern so that you can keep your plants dry. So this actually, as you see the shape of this structure, it's a is above technology above the net house. Those people who are familiar with the net house, they know the advantage of net house and disadvantage of net house. But if you wanted to overcome those disadvantages, so it is better to follow adopt this retractable flat roof. One motor can operate the 1 hectare, and you can put up a insect net or bird net also, depending upon which crop you are growing. And wind resistance is 110 kilometer per hour. Span width, you have a 8 meter or 9.6 meter. Span width means between these 2 poles that, and height you can increase up to 6 meter depending on crop. So the next model is X-frame, which is suitable for hot, humid climate where rainfall is very high. As you can see, it has a gutter also, and um, it is suitable, as told you, that hot and wet and dry climate, both season, both type of place. Uh, and minimum size that we can provide you 1 acre. And basically, it is a tension structure. As you can see, that there are a lot of wire ropes all around the structure here also. So So it is a very strong and robust also, and it can withstand a wind speed of 110 or 120 kph. And you can install this structure in a undulating land. You know, if you have a that topography like this, you have a sloping topography, so you can install this structure. And as I told you that just like flat roof is suitable for tropical dry region, so X-frame is the combination of net house and poly house for the humid region actually. So it has the advantage of both structure. Span width here also it's a 9.6 meter standard, and gutter height you can increase up to 5 meter. Rafter house, as the name say that it has a wider span, and normally it is used for nursery purpose or small operation. Means that if you want to build a structure of up to 1,000 square meters, so we can provide this rafter house. It has a wind load capacity of 140 to 177 kph. So basically, this is a hybrid between the X frame and a top model A frame. So width here is 14.63 meter and 16 meter highest, and gutter height 4.3 to 5 meter. So A frame is a top model, as I told you that you can install this model in any extreme climate condition, like in the eastern coast where you have a very strong cyclones that occurs, or in the high Himalayan region where you have snowfall. So you can install this structure. So it has a wind load capacity of 200 kph, and it has a different span width from 7.31 to 12 meter. Gutter height same as rafter. So if you want to understand that technology, so please go ahead with this video.
Over the last 35 years, Cravo retractable roof houses have been installed on 6 continents and in virtually every climatic condition, allowing us to observe the long-term performance of every component in heavy snow loads, in hurricane conditions, and in hailstorms with hail the size of tennis balls. The desire and commitment of our team to be the world leader of retractable roof houses is exemplified in the following 5 areas: our retractable roof coverings, our drive systems, our structural designs, our retractable wall coverings, and most importantly, specially designed computer control system and sensors which optimize the control of the retractable roof and walls. Our retractable roof coverings have now been in use for over 20 years and have proven to have a useful life on average of 8 to 12 years, and occasionally up to 16 years. The reinforced polyethylene coverings are available in clear for mild and colder climates and white for hot climates. The roof coverings are suspended from special hooks which slide on stainless steel wire, and the coverings have proven to be extremely resistant to wind, snow, and hail. The roof coverings have never blown off, even though our houses have been hit by 8 hurricanes and 1 cyclone. The drive systems on our retractable roofs use stainless steel cable, which is easy to install using local labor. We strive to supply drive systems which are virtually maintenance-free, since our roofs are controlled by a computer and most of our customers are 1,000 to 10,000 kilometers from our factory. We have designed our drive systems in such a way that if there is a problem with a drive system, a repair can usually be made using locally sourced cable, avoiding the cost and delay of air shipments. The low friction movement of the retractable roof covering and heavy-duty bearings allow our motors to power up to 9,000 square meters of flat roofs and 4,500 square meters of peaked roofs. Our roof systems are extremely energy efficient since they are powered by 1.25 kilowatt or 1.7 horsepower electromotors, and the houses typically use only 1 to 2 kilowatt hours of electricity per day per hectare. Our family of retractable roof houses includes 4 different models, to allow for different combinations of strength, environmental control, and cost to suit the tropics, subclimates where heavy snow loads occur. There are 3 peaked roof models which have a gutter to keep plants dry, and a flat roof model which is ideal for crops where 100% rain protection is not required. Is designed to cover acres or hectares of crops that need protection from cold, heat, wind, hail, and the impact of rain. The roof coverings are either white or clear and can either be coated or uncoated. The uncoated roof allows rain to percolate through the covering, whereas the coated roof covering has a grid pattern of drainage slits, allowing rain to penetrate at slit locations. The coated roof is excellent for crops like cherries or berries, where it is desired to keep rain away from the crop rows, or where it is okay for 75 to 90% of the crop to stay dry. A second layer can be installed underneath to provide additional light and temperature control or insect protection. The A-frame is the original peaked roof model created back in 1993. The A-frame structure is the strongest of all peaked roof houses, making it ideal for crops requiring rain protection in areas prone to hurricanes or heavy snow loads, or where irrigation booms are used. Interior retractable curtains are frequently installed inside to create additional heat retention in the winter, cooling in the summer, or insect control. The rafter house is similar to the A-frame, but has a post under the peak and gutter instead of a truss, making it more economical than the A-frame. The rafter house comes in 2 models, one with cable bracing on the gable end and the other with roof bracing. The rafter house is used primarily in warmer climates where minimal snow loads occur and where the ground is essentially level. Over the last
So, as you see that what I spoke earlier, so you might have seen all those videos. So, that as I told you that we have a 75 different solution for your crops and climate. So now I will talk about the crops. Now that if you want to grow the leafy and herbs, if you are in a urban area or peri-urban area, or if you want to supply to the export market, so the retractable roof is very good because we have a very crunchy, thick leaf. It's a very taste good and it has a bright color and you are using a very less or no chemicals. So that's what that you are if you're planning for a high-end customer or for the export market. So we already have 2 projects here in India. Simply Fresh, if you Google, it is the one of the largest state-of-art project where we are growing all kind of leafy and herbs year round. And we have a one project in Delhi, KBC, it's a Dower subsidiary. So they are, as you can see the picture here, these are Dower picture. So you can see that you can grow the all kind of leafy herbs during the summer or rainy or any season actually. Tomato is the most consumed greenhouse crop. So if you are targeting the summer or rainy season when prices are very high and when open field is not in production, then flat roof structure with the insect net is for a good for tropical dry location like Rajasthan. And but X-frame with the retractable insect net is suitable for any other hot and humid location where rainfall is high. So you can see that these pictures also here myself here. So you can have a uh, this Roma type table tomato that between 35 to 40 kg per square meter, and cherry tomato you can get 15 to 20 kg or maybe 25 kg. that and beef tomato that 50-60 kg per square meter.
So sorry to
Cucumber,
interrupt. Sir,
yeah,
we
yeah.
have completed 45 minutes. If you quickly finish, I'll take up the
Okay, okay,
questions, sir.
okay. You just I will just show the crops.
Yeah.
So cucumber that it's difficult to grow when your temperature is 35 plus, and you want it to have a multiple cycle. So then it's better to select the retractable roof. You can grow very well 4 cycle of crops. Just like flowers also that if you are looking for export market of flower and you need a good shelf life, very sharp colors, then actual then it's better to grow under the different type of retractable roof as per your climate. So berries actually is a very important crop for India because most of berries except strawberry we import from other country and the price in the retail market is very high. So in the conventional system, you can grow it seasonally, but retractable roof offer a very good option for extended harvest or with less chemical use. And also, you can grow in your tropical location also. The good quality, good shelf life, good tasty these berries. So sweet pepper, color capsicum or green and color that already that a lot of people are already started growing in net house or poly house. And if you are targeting longer season for export market, you can have a retractable roof where you can increase the fruit wall thickness by 30 to 13 to 20%, and you have a firmness is 40%. That increase your shelf life. And uh, even after that 2 weeks of harvest, your shelf life will remain the same. The quality will remain same. So we already have a 15 acre structure in Telangana at Jahirabad. So there are a lot of fruit crops that you can grow, like mango, like fig, like pomegranate, because climate change is creating a lot of trouble to very high value mango uh, and these other crops. So you can grow very well under the retractable roof because you have a natural climate condition. You can advance your flowering. You can protect crop fruit against heavy rain or strong wind, and also the splitting of the crops that takes place during the summer rainy season, and quality will be very good. Nutraceutical is the crop which has a nutritional and medicinal value both, like ashwagandha, turmeric, ginger, bacopa. So now these crops are becoming very popular after this COVID. So if you are targeting export market, then it's better to grow. Already we have a Simply Fresh project in Telangana. They are growing these crops as you can see in the pictures there. Nursery, so that if you see all our old projects in USA or Australia or Africa, that most of projects they were installed for the nursery growing, whether it's a flower, vegetable, or forest nursery, because you need to acclimatize your nursery plant so that when you ship this plant to the destination, so there should not be a more high mortality rate. So so you have a very good root shoot ratio, you have a thicker stem, so there's a less chance. Animal shelters, actually, you might have seen the dairies in your urban areas, so they look very unhygienic, or uh, they do not have a good congenial condition for animals. But here you can see, you can provide a very hygienic, neat and clean environment for your cows, for horses, for any type of that animals. So that will increase your meat and milk production. and the cost of the structure is less than as compared to the in the animal sides. And supervision becomes very easy because you can from one end corner you can see all your animals. So this sports industry is also adopting this type of technology, like you can see in the picture over the swimming pool, in the amusement, in the Disneyland, even the cricket actually that practicing people that they who practice inside this structure for all weather. So already a lot of such projects they are coming up in Australia and New Zealand. So I will not skip this video because I have to show some other things also. So we have a first project with the Namdari in Karnataka. So they have selected our structure because they have a pollination issue, high temperature and pollination. So they are doing very well. We have this next project we did in Pattaya in Thailand because that is area where you have a hot and humid climate. So he wanted to grow the leafy and vine all year round. So you can see the picture there. And we have this Dower project in Delhi. So all leafy and herbs they are growing, and it has been proven that for electricity and the water consumption is less than the 10 times less than your fan fed structure here. So I will skip here. This is our nursery project in Indonesia. They have already installed 4 hectares in the 4 years. This is a very important project that we have in the Qatar that you know that the Middle East, it's a very hot and a hot area. And not only daytime hot, but nights are also hot. That if you have a night temperature above 30 degrees, then it's very difficult to grow crops. So you can see the crops here. Now, after the success of this project, we have a 115 hectare of project undergoing in the different Middle East country like UAE or Saudi or Oman or even Qatar. So they are growing all type of crops, fruit crops or flowers also. And this is the project that we did in Qatar. So you can see here.
Shall
In Qatar, it's very harsh conditions, high temperature, high humidity. To overcome to these challenges is not easy. So you must to have special techniques and special agriculture practice in order to overcome to these issues.
So I skip here that simply phrase I told you
Sir, I
earlier
will,
that
sir, shall I take
yeah,
up the
it's a
question,
close.
sir? Huh? You will please stop
Yeah, it's
sharing the
close.
screen.
Close.
I will take up the questions from the participants.
Okay, okay, okay. So the now we are building one of the largest project in India, also in North India, for 115 acre. It's a growing berries, blueberries. So thank you very much for listening to me, and kindly feel free to ask any question, or you can write on my email as given on the screen, or uh, also on my WhatsApp number. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. I will
Thank,
stop
thank
sharing.
you, sir. Thanks for detailed presentation. I'll quickly take up questions from the participants now, sir.
Okay.
Can you please stop sharing the screen, sir?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The first question is, what is the minimum investment required for the technology you are providing?
It depends that what crops you want to grow in which area. So normally that, as I told you, that price of our structure varies from $30 to 150 US dollars. So it depends that what crops you want to grow and what is your climate.
Okay. Is there any government subsidy available for this, sir, in India?
It is a project base, not on the structure base.
Mhm.
It's not like a net house subsidy or poly house subsidy. If you are building a large project, just like you have seen in the Simplifresh or Triangle, they have got the subsidy on the packing line, cold storage, transportation. So there are a lot of subsidies, but not only the structure. It's a complete project.
Okay, okay. The next question is, what is the difference between your technology and other technology?
I have explained everything in the presentation.
Okay, okay. What is the main difference, sir?
One is that a roof in the conventional system is stationary, but in the poly house or net house here we have a retractable. Means that when you have a good conditions, just like in the morning and evening time in summer, when you have a good weather outside, why to close it? Keep the natural environment, keep the natural sunlight come inside. So it is actually roof open and close as per your outside weather. If you see now that how many days we need protection of crop out of 365 days, maximum during summer, it may be daytime between 11 to 3, 4, when you have a very high sun over your head. During winter, during night time, you need to close your structure. During rainy season, you have a longer rainy season of 3 months. So if you see out of 365 days, you need protection only for 50 to 100 days. 265 days, nature has given us ideal growing condition in India. That's why we can grow 3 crop, 4 crop in a year. When nature have given us so good climate here, why to keep it for protection almost for 365 days?
Okay. The next question is, I think you were mentioning some customers of yours. Who are the main customers of Cravo in India?
Mostly it's corporate farming, corporate people, some young entrepreneur, as I told you that Simply Fresh and Triangle, basically these are the young people that were designed and who has taken the risk of such project. So now they have gone big.
Okay. Okay. One last question we have, sir. Uh, what are the challenges you are facing in convincing growers in India to use this technology?
Uh, the biggest challenge, the import duty actually, because this structure is imported from Canada. So normally that our clients, they are getting, they have to pay the 30%, almost 30% import duty. So that's the biggest challenge.
Okay, 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 sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we would like to thank Mr. Rajendra Kumar for a detailed presentation and for answering the questions. I also like to thank all the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, Rajni.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
welcome, sir.
you,
Yeah, welcome.
agricultureinformation.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, sir.